Oh, cause I'm gon' slay. Move out the way, I could do this all day. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. I could do this all day. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. I could do this all day. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. Move out the way, cause I'm gon' slay. Chef up in the kitchen, flip this beat just like a pancake. You might just got that Rona, so it's no thanks to your handshake. You boys a joke, like the Aints and the Panthers, or maybe Falcons, cause y'all ain't got no answers. Hit us talk down, that's not stick. Make you walk the plank with an ankle brick. It's lights out, baby, you done burnt your wick. Need a pill and a nurse the way my flow so sick. Falling on you boys like time terrific. Xbox all day, my team so prolific. And there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. Been 18 years, y'all done fucked the dragon. Buckles like. Locker room talk with Travis and Isaiah. If you come to troll, then you get snapped like a gator. Shout out pirates, shooters and them bandits. When we come with facts and them haters can't stand it. Locker room talk with Travis and Isaiah. If you come to troll, then you get snapped like a gator. Shout out pirates, shooters and them bandits. When we come with facts and them haters can't stand it. Like a room talk with Travis and Isaiah.
All right. What do we have here? All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Buccaneers Locker. This is your host, Isaiah, coming to you again. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in, Shouts out to all the Powers and Sea Bandits. Keep supporting the channel. You know what to do. And shouts out to everybody across the Bucs community. Keep supporting the team. Whether you are here full-time, or part-time. Anyway, what's going on, Jonathan? Tommy? So we have a game Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. A road game. All right. So, what up, Guru? The Bucs are on the road. The Bucs are 5-0 at home and 1-3 on the road. It's interesting how that works. As good as the Bucs are, they don't play well on the road. And that's got to change. So now we go to the Indianapolis. What's up, Frank? The Colts are on a 3-game winning streak after their season was on the brink of being over early in the season. This is why you got to be careful of writing teams off so early. Sometimes teams peak early, a lot of Raiders, Cleveland, and then sometimes there's teams that start coming on later in the season. I'm sorry, 2 and 3 in a row. I'm sorry, my bad. 3 losses on the road. Then you got teams that start playing well later in the season, a la the New England Patriots, the Colts. So the Vikings are starting to play well now. So sometimes teams just start off early, and sometimes teams start off later. This is why this is a long season. 17 games is a long season. The Bucs started out on fire. We hit a little roadblock. A couple losses uncharacteristic of the Bucs. And then we follow up with a win, at home against the New York Giants, the lowly New York Giants. Now we are playing a much better team, a much better coach team. So let's get into it. I want to read off the injury report too. Exclusive garbage. Shouts out to you, man. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. The $1.99 for the one time online. It says, I want us to win, but peace Indy in the pool. Oh, you picked Indy in the pool. Well, what up, DSG Carlos? I don't know what to say about that one, fam. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I mean, like, I don't know. Like, you picked them. You picked Indy in the pool. You might have to stick with that if you want that money, right? You know what I'm saying? Can you change it? I don't know. But thank you for the super chat. So let me read the injury report as of Wednesday. The Bucs injury report. This is off the the Buccaneers.com website. The full injury report for both teams. Antonio Brown ankle did not participate, but we kind of know why he's not participating. Mike Edwards with a growing limited participation. Mike Evans, a back, did not participate. Chris Godwin, foot, limited participation. Gronkowski, back, full participation. Ali Marpet, and that's the thing we're going to talk about. Abdomen injury, did not participate. Nacho Roches, ankle, full participation. JPP, shoulder, full participation. Devin White, quadriceps, got quads injury, quadriceps, did not participate. And Vita Vea, limited participation, knee. So we'll know more about that Friday when we get the final report on what's going to happen. The Colts injury report reads as of Wednesday. TJ Carey, knee, limited participation. T.Y. Hilton, toe, limited participation. Darius Leonard, ankle, limited participation. Quentin Nelson, ankle, limited participation. T.Y. Hilton is always injured. Quentin Nelson had an ankle injury, an ankle that he's injured before already this season. Darius Leonard with an ankle injury, but they both will play, most likely. So the Colts are pretty much healthy. That's it. Remember, being healthy is one of the most important things, or one of the most underrated things that people don't really talk about as the season progresses. And as a Bucs fan, we know not being healthy during the season will cost you some games. Now, granted, that's not an excuse, but not having your starters on the field plays a big part in you losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a good roster, right? We got a top 5 roster, right? So top 5 roster, heavy, very heavy at the top. But you gotta find ways to win. So you can't use injuries as a crutch, even though it's a part of the game. And because when we win and we beat a team that's injured, we don't celebrate winning the game and say, well, we beat that team, but they was injured. So we don't do that. We be like, yeah, we beat them. So, and then we get beat, we scream injuries. Well, I don't scream it, but a lot of Bucs fans scream injury. Oh, we took Gronkowski back, baby, that. But when we win, I don't hear anything from the Bucs community about us being injured and winning. So kind of can't play at both sides. You gotta tell the whole story. Now, let's get to the Colts game. So going to this game, let's talk about the Bucs offense. Up until this point, 10 games into the season, the Bucs offense looks, I ain't gonna say well-oiled, but it's there, right? It's just needs to be tweak and peak. But what I do want to say though, with the Bucs offense, these last couple of weeks, not as explosive, more predictable with the play calling. The runs are very simplified. with the running backs. No dynamicness, no dynamic part of to the running game, to in my opinion, for the last couple of weeks. It looked good in the Dolphins game, in the Bears game, and all that. But these last few weeks, the running game has been less dynamic to me. Am I the only one that recognized this? That the Bucs running game hasn't been explosive? Lacking the big plays, the 20-yard runs, the 30-yard runs, the 40-yard runs. We don't get that from the running backs because we throwing the ball 46 to 50 times a game, which is I just still don't understand. If you're gonna say we got two good running backs, why not use them? So I would like to see that happen more these next few weeks. Even with the Colts game, just try. I'm gonna keep saying this. I really do want to see how the running game actually looks, especially in games like this against teams that got some competent players. Don't have a washed up roster, a bad head coach, a bad GM, bad players, bad scheme like the Giants. So this game will tell you more about the Bucs than the Giants game. I didn't put a lot of stock in the Giants game. If you buy stocks or crypto, you sell high, you buy low, right? So I didn't buy a lot of stock in the Bucs victory over the Giants, right? Because it was expected. It was a bottom shelf team picking in the top 5 or 7 in the draft. So I didn't put a lot of stock into it. I didn't invest a lot of money into it. Or time, or interest really. But I am going to put some stock in this game against the Colts because the Colts are an average team. They're pretty good. Okay. Let me rephrase what I'm saying because I don't want nobody to twist my words. But the Colts are playing well. They're 6-5, right outside the playoff hunt because the AFC is just beating up on each other. The AFC is like a bigger version of the NFC West. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams in the AFC, 6 wins, 7 wins, separate themselves. It's not that much separation in the AFC. So those teams are pretty good. A lot of competition in the AFC. But the Colts are playing well. They caught fire going to the back half of the season. The chances of them making the playoffs, I would say 50-50. Don't be surprised we get this dub. If we get this dub, that team makes the playoffs, which means we beat a playoff team. So right now, the Colts are not a playoff team. So, but this is a winning team with a winning record, 3-game winning streak. So the Bucs offense, of course, they're explosive. Gronkowski's back. All hail Gronkowski. Everything's good now. The passing game will explode. But forget the running game. We don't care about the running game. We care about Gronkowski getting his catches. Evans, Godwin, get them catches. We don't need the running game to win games. We've proven that. Yeah, you have. We have. We've proven that we don't need to run the ball to win games. But there will come a point in time that you're going to have to run the ball at some point in the season or even in the playoffs. They did it last year. It wasn't bombs away in the playoffs. It was bombs away in the Washington football game, but Saints and the Packers game, it was not bombs away. Even in the Super Bowl, they ran the ball. So they got to start doing this, and whether they like it or not. And Bowers play calling, I don't believe he's used the whole playbook. He's using plays that Brady is really comfortable with. And I'll give you a couple of plays, a couple throws, a couple play calls that are pretty common with this explosive offense. That it's even though it's common, but it works. And I'm gonna keep this very simple. So one of the plays is, and play action. Even though the Bucs don't run well, they do it. Sometimes they do it out of a 12 formation or 13, 3-by-1. Play action, a drag across the middle. Very simple, right? Very simple, very simple scheme, complex levels throw. But remember, there's a route always going over the middle or a check down for Brady. And for the last few weeks, at least about 75% of his throws have been running back or right across the middle. It's just what you see. A lot of the throws have been at the running back across the middle. Now, there's a lot of factors that play in this. It's how teams are playing us, right? Teams are playing us with a cover 2 shell, linebacker, drop deep, prevent the big plays. And it's been working. Even, the Saints used it. The Washington football team used it. Even the Giants used it. So I'm expecting the Colts to use it as well. Another play the Bucs like to run. 2 tight ends, split, 2 receivers. Quick throw, wide receiver screen. Godwin with the yak. Sometimes, every now and then, Evans. Or we'll do 2 tight ends, sometimes on the same side, Cameron Brate, and they'll run Cameron Brate on a seam route, kind of a bend route. And Brady likes to throw it to Cam Brate right in that hole. It was Gronkowski, but Cam Brate has been there too. And then every now and then a deep ball throwing to the left side. That's pretty simple with the Bucs offense in the last few weeks. That's what I've seen a lot with the Bucs offense. Fournette, middle throw to Godwin, deep ball to Evans, check down to Fournette, wide receiver screen to Godwin. Simple, because of how teams are playing us. And it looks like to me there's about 20 to 25 plays that they only run. And they let Brady kind of decipher through those plays. Now, granted, there's different formations, but remember, even though there's different formations, a lot of it's the same play. It's just how it looks when they line up. Not a lot of motion like they usually do. The motion hasn't been as much as they've done last year or the last couple of weeks last year. The motion's still there, but a lot of his throws are running back and right up the middle. And I just find it interesting that we don't see a lot of throws on the outside. Now, if we do see a throw on the outside, it's usually a drag going from right to left. If you notice how a lot of his drag routes are from right to left. Now, these are things I'm picking up on. I don't know if you guys are picking up on it, but right to left. So, and it's most likely to Chris Godwin. Now, Gronkowski's back, so we'll see a lot more of that with Gronkowski, matching up the linebackers. Now, will this work? Yes, it works because of how it's schemed. Even though it's simple, it's very simplistic style of offense that the Bucs have been running. It works because of how the Bucs line up. Because the way they line up is like, well, we're not sure what they're doing, but they're really doing the same thing over and over and over again. Death by 1,000 cuts. It's working. Why change it up? But at some point, they're going to have to kind of start adding some other things to it. And expect to start seeing that as the season progresses towards the third and fourth quarter, as we get into the third quarter of the season, and of course the back half of the season. I think the playbook will open up even more. It gets tougher as the season goes along, and I said this, Colts, Bills, Saints, and then the Panthers twice. Don't sleep on those games. Now, even though I circled the Bills and the Saints, but don't sleep on the Colts and the Panthers twice. But let's get back to the Colts. Now, how the Colts are going to defend that, it's the same way it's been defended for the last couple of weeks. They got a competent linebacker that goes by the name of Darius Leonard. Top 5 linebacker, clearly no debate. A turnover machine. He forces turnovers. He makes plays. He punches the ball out. He's always around the ball. He makes a lot of tackles. He can cover. He's fast. He's still young too. Got a big contract from the Colts, well deserved. So shouts out to Darius Leonard. He's a top 20 player to me. And the Colts are going now. The Colts secondary, I think it's Xavier Rhodes on the Colts. So he's going to match up with Mike Evans, big on big. I think that Xavier Rhodes is on the Colts, I believe. And Patrick Peterson is with the Vikings. But Xavier Rhodes is going to match up with Mike Evans, obviously. Probably going to follow him around. I think Mike Evans can get him. I believe Mike Evans is going to get a lot of targets this game. I think he will. In my opinion, the matchup favors the Bucs when it comes to the Colts secondary. Their secondary is nothing to really be like worried about. In person, I believe the Colts secondary is just, I guess you could say, like, I don't know, middle of the pack, towards a third of the pack. I don't know. I don't look at them as a top 15 secondary or a top 10 secondary because I don't see it, right? But they do make plays. But the passing game for the Bucks, the passing game in this game for our offense, it favors the offense, our offense. Now, one of the key components in this game, I'm going to always bring this up, the running game. I want to see if the Bucks can establish a running game early, just to give it a shot to see if they can do it, because the Colts they're gonna drop 7 guys. And here's the thing about the Colts front 4. They can get to the quarterback. They got good people up the middle, a couple young guys on the edge. They can cause some havoc. DeForest Buckner, all-pro defensive tackle, pass rusher in that Chris Jones category, Aaron Donald category. He's just a disruptive guy. He's 6'6". So Brady likes to throw the ball in the middle of the field. That is a big guy to throw around. So don't be surprised you see a lot of batted balls in this game from the Colts, because Brady throws the ball from point A to point B. He doesn't go this way a lot or that way a lot. He likes to throw right in front of him because he can see. He doesn't like to do all this, right? 1-2, ball out, right? So expect the Colts to get some pressure up the middle and with their hands up. The Giants had some success with that a little bit, causing some throws to kind of be off and tip some balls. So take a look at that part of the game as the game move along. The Colts will probably scheme that into their pass rush, because Brady gets rid of the ball really quick. And the O-line for the Bucks have been playing very well. So, but there are some injuries. There's an injury there. Ali Marpet, abdominal. So we don't know the injury to the full extent. He looked like he was in pain. He didn't come back in the game against the Giants. They didn't need him. He probably could have came back. But Aaron Stinney filled in very well. So we got depth at the O-line. So I'm not too worried about that at all. I just want to see the Bucks attempt to run the ball. Run the ball. I think the Colts' run defense is not that great. They just been playing well. Like, their defense is not great. The last couple of weeks, they just been playing well. Opportunistic. They're getting better. They're not the Rams defense, or they're not like the Saints defense. They're not, what I'm saying? They're not like, oh my gosh, we got to worry about their defense. It's just the last 3 weeks, they've been kind of glued in. They've been locked in. So I don't rate them as a great defense, but they just been playing well, and they've been playing together. They've been complementing each other, right? They're not going to get pressured the whole game, but they make timely plays, right? That's kind of what matters in a lot of these games. Like, every game, you're not going to get a lot of pressures, a lot of turnovers, but excuse me, but you got to be able to make plays in certain times of the game, right? Your playmakers got to step up. The DeForest Buckner, the Darius Leonard, Xavier Rhodes, you got to be able to step up in some points of the game. But remember, this is the Colts defense. This is not no hard defense to figure out. They don't have no world beaters. There's no Dwight Freeney or Robert Mathis coming around the edge. Now let's make it clear. They don't have no outstanding outside pass rushers. A lot of their pressure is going to come from the middle. And every now and then they'll blitz Darius Leonard too. So, but they only got a couple guys that stand out, but they play well together. So I think the Bucs should be able to have a good offensive game, passing wise, and I think the Bucs can take advantage of the Colts' run defense. I really do. Because if you go look at the Colts game, you can run the ball on them. It's the thing about it. The running game is there for the Bucs. They just gotta want to run it. It's a dome game, so expect the track meet, right? So we'll see how that works out with the running game with the Bucs and Byron Leftwich. Is he going to call? Remember, we had 27 rushes last game, but it was more like 18 carries between Fournette and Ronald Jones. And I always said this: Fournette is a 15 to 20 carry guy. He's not a 10 carry guy. You're not going to get much out of Fournette with only 10 carries. So then on the flip side of that, We might see more Rojo this game too. So stay tuned for that. So defensively for the Bucs, this is all the Bucs got to do, and I'm gonna say this really very clear. Make Carson Wentz beat you. It's not even a complex scheme to, like, Frank Reich is a good coach, right? They run the ball. Strength versus strength. Colts run offense versus the Bucs run defense. Strength versus strength. The Colts got a top flight O-line. Here's another one of those O-lines that's pretty good. All right. Now we've seen a couple of these games with the Bucs when they play against top level O-lines, they don't do anything. Cowboys, Rams, Saints, even the Redskins average O-line did pretty good. So now we got the Colts O-line, led by Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith, left right tackle pretty deep. So they got a solid O-line. So let's not act like they're going to be rowing the boat heading into this game. Because on paper, the Colts have the advantage with their O-line versus our D-line. We could have had Quentin Nelson too a couple years ago. If the Colts didn't draft him, I believe the Bucs was going to draft Quentin Nelson. I stand on that. I really believe the Bucs were going to draft Quentin Nelson if the Colts did not pick him before we did. Y'all remember that draft? Do y'all remember who we got after they picked up Quentin Nelson? Because when I saw the pick, I was like, oh, that was a surefire Pro Bowl. Can you imagine if we had Ali Marpet and Quentin Nelson? Oh, jeebus. Oh, my gosh. With Tristan Wirfs, Donovan Smith, Ryan Jen. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine if we could have had Quentin Nelson if the Colts wasn't smart? Shouts out to the Colts GM. Is it Grigson? Ryan Grigson, whatever his name is, or somebody like that. They picked up Quentin Nelson right before the Bucs. Almost got you, Quentin. All pro from day one. But the Colts do have the advantage with their O-line. We don't know if Vita is going to play. Might play. I would say 50-50 game time decision. I would be careful with them rushing him back because you kind of want him back. Bills game, Saints game, Panthers twice. You might want to hold him out one more game. I know he want to get back in there. If he does play, he'll be on the snap count. I think we know that. But I'll be cautious on that. So I'm not expecting him to play game time decision. And if he does play, snap count. You know what I'm saying? But Jonathan Taylor, make the Colts beat you through the air. And I'll get to their receivers in a second. Make Carson Wentz make the throws. Now, granted, his touchdown to interception ratio is pretty good. They're not asking him to do a lot, which the media is not really talking about. They paint the narrative of he's playing so great. He's playing okay. He's not doing anything crazy. Last week, he was 11 for 20. They won the game, but he was 11 for 20. So he's not asked to do a lot. See, this is what a running game do and a strong O-line do for a lot of quarterbacks. And I'm gonna repeat this. I don't look, if you're not a top flight quarterback, even Roger struggled, right? With no running game, no O-line, but he can make things happen. Brady struggled, but when you have a running game and an O-line and a coach that knows how to run the ball, it can make quarterbacks like Carson Wentz. Oh, he's playing well. Of course he's playing well. Got a nice running game. He can turn around and hand the ball 20 times, 25 times. Look at Ryan Tannehill. Look like crap right now. The Titans offense look like crap. No Derrick Henry to take the pressure off the quarterback. Every quarterback needs a running game. I don't care if you like the quarterback or not. A lot of quarterbacks that you don't like or that's not good will look much better with a running game and inside the O-line. Look at the Colts. The Colts are a prime example of a Carson Wentz type quarterback. Looks pretty decent with a competent O-line, a coach that knows how to run the ball. What more can you ask for? You don't have to lose the game. And the Colts got a top flight running game. That's going to be one you want to circle for this game. The Colts running game, I got to give him credit. Jonathan Taylor, top 3, top 5 running back. So I will have to give the edge to the Colts O-line. The Colts running game has the advantage over the Bucs run defense. Right? Now, we did a great job against Kamara, Zeke, the Patriots run game. The Washington football team ran the ball well. And the Eagles ran the ball a lot too. But if the Bucs can shut down Jonathan Taylor, now you're asking Carson Wentz. I would say he's slightly better than Daniel Jones. Let's just say that. Carson Wentz is a little bit better than he's better than Daniel Jones. So if Daniel Jones, let's just put it on a scale of 1 to 10. If Daniel Jones is a 2, Carson Wentz is a 4 or 5. So he's a little bit more competent, right? He'll make some plays with his feet. He's not horrible. He's okay. So it will not be like the Bucs play Daniel Jones. It's going to be a little bit more different, right? Because Carson Wentz don't have Jason Garrett calling plays. He got Frank Reich. Jason Garrett. See the difference? So don't sleep on Frank Reich. Frank Reich was, for those of you that don't know Frank Reich, it's a little bit old school. I guess you can call it old school. He was a part of the Buffalo Bills organization for some years with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed. I forgot their tight end name. Kelsey. I forgot his name, but they won a lot of games, and Frank Reich played well back then. When he came in. So don't sleep on Frank Reich. Frank Reich is a solid coach, man. He's a solid coach. He's I would say one more year, maybe 2 more years away from being a top level coach. Because the Colts, he's turned that franchise around. So coaching matter, folks. Remember, as a Bucs fan, and you guys know, our coaching history has not been great. The Colts coaching history has been some sort of pretty decent. Pagano, Frank Reich, Tony Dungy, Jim Mora, playoffs, and we've had chest bumping Raheem Morris, Rex Schiano, Lovie Smith, Dort Cutter. Coaching matters, folks. Coaching matters. So shouts out to Frank Reich for turning the Colts season around, coming up with great game plans and making that thing work. And look, we're gonna lean on Jonathan Taylor here. And I wish we could have got Jonathan Taylor. But no, we wanted Keyshawn Vaughn. Could have traded, if you wanted a running back, go get the running back you really want, right? J.K. Dobbs, A.J. Dillon, Jonathan Taylor, could have got Clyde Edwards-Helaire maybe, if you could have slid back in front of the Chiefs. The Bucs could have did it. The Bucs really could have did it. If they really wanted to run Antonio Gibson, could have got him. If they really wanted to run it back, they could have got a better one. And I'm not going to let that go, folks. I am not going to let that Keyshawn Vaughn pick go. I just don't understand that pick. It didn't make any sense when there were better running backs on the board. I digress. Oh, I hate that pick. That pick could have been an O-line, D-line, or a better running back. Just that pick irks my nerves. Anyway, so so the Colts running game, the Colts are going to run the ball regardless. They don't care how good your run defense is. Go look at the last 4 or 5 games for Jonathan Taylor. Frank Reich don't care. He's going to run the ball. I'll put some money on this. A little bit of money. The Colts, Jonathan Taylor is going to get about 20 carries if the game is close. Now, if it's a blowout, he's not getting 20 carries, right? But if it's within 10, he'll get 20 carries, 20, 25. They just got to do it. They know the formula. Run the ball 20 to 25, maybe 28 times a game. This is Jonathan Taylor running the ball. He also can catch out the backfield. So do not sleep on his pass catching ability. See, I watch Jonathan Taylor. I think he's a New Jersey kid too. Watched him at Wisconsin. I always thought he was going to be solid in the NFL. I didn't think he was going to be like this. Like, this dude is crazy good, right? And when the Colts picked him, I was like, okay, that was a running back I was looking at for the Bucks. Like, I kind of believe that if Jonathan Taylor's on the board, I think the Bucks would have picked him. What up, Zach? But he's explosive. He's a home run hitter. He can catch the ball out the backfield. And I know I'm talking a lot about the Colts running game because that is the focal point. The Bucks need to stop the run and put it in Carson Wentz's hands. If he can beat us throwing the ball, kudos to Carson Wentz. You're going to have to earn that, buddy. Right? Now, there's other weapons that the Colts do have. Jack Doyle, decent tight end. Naheem Hines, nice little third down back, scat back, fast, twitchy. Michael Pittman, the number one receiver for the Colts. I watched him at USC. Was it USC? Was it USC he played for USC? Michael Pittman? I think it was. And T.Y. Hilton, if he can stay healthy, he's a threat. And they have another receiver too that's pretty decent. So they got some decent weapons there, on the outside, or as far as their playmakers outside of Jonathan Taylor. So I know the Bucks. I would say the focal point is Jonathan Taylor, but you don't want to get beat by, everybody else, right? Got to keep them in check too. But the Bucks secondary should have a pretty good game. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I'm going to go ahead and say that now because I'm looking at the quarterback. Slightly better than Daniel Jones, or I'd say two steps above Daniel Jones, but the Bucks secondary should have another really good game. Carlton Davis might be back. All right. He's in the window to return, so it could be this week or next week. Most likely probably be next week. They'll probably give him one more week. I forgot. Scotty Miller can come back too. Most likely he will be back too. Richard Sherman's still out for a little bit. But Carlton Davis can come back. He's designated to return, but they haven't announced it yet. So it might be another week. So I like the adjustment that Todd Bowles made in the secondary. It has actually helped. They took two guys off the field. Murphy Bunting coming back was huge. And adding Mike Edwards to the slot, the nickel cover guy, was huge. Because you got to think about it. Look, Jamel Dean, Murphy Bunting's on the outside. Mike Edwards at the slot, taking over Russ Cockrell. Winfield, Whitehead. Solid secondary, right? They still struggle, but solid. It actually looks better. And to be honest with you, no disrespect to Richard Sherman, they don't need him. I think they paid him to be a coach. I'm gonna stand on that with 10 toes. I think they paid Richard Sherman to basically be a coach and play a little bit. They know he ain't got it no more. They know that. A healthy Bucks secondary, what is the purpose of Richard Sherman? He can't play on the inside. So when Carlton Davis come back, what does he fit in at? He's there they're paying him to coach. I'm going to stand on that. I'm telling you, it was a good pickup from a coaching standpoint. They needed a veteran to come in there and sit in the room with those guys and show them how to read, the quarterback on what they're trying to do, what's the game plan. And the Bucks secondary, can't keep saying young, but the Bucks secondary struggled to understand what are you supposed to be doing in this type of coverage, right? And Richard Sherman has been his insight has been very helpful for the secondary, right? And when he gets healthy, I don't see the purpose of him getting on that field when the Bucks are healthy. Murphy Bunting, Davis, and Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean has been playing very well. So, Richard, unless we see another injury, we've probably seen the last of Richard Sherman getting on the field for the Bucks. That was just Richard, we just need you to come here and sit with the guys. Help these young guys, right? That's what it was to me. And then when he's out there, his body didn't hold up. It was like, barring another catastrophic injury in the secondary, I don't see Richard Sherman playing no more. And it's kind of like uh, low key ring chasing is what he kind of did. I mean, uh, kind of low key ring chasing, you know, uh, like Carmelo Anthony ring chasing, type situation. You're a Hall of Famer. You have nothing to prove, but you're on the team. You kind of just riding. You kind of riding the wave. Kind of like LaShawn McCoy. Didn't really do nothing, but he was on the team. We're in the Super Bowl. He gets a ring. He retires. So I'm expecting Richard Sherman to retire after this season. We get the ring. Peace out. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to play next year. His body can't hold up. I don't care what he says. He's old. Football years wise. And the cornerback is a young man's position. You got to have the legs to play cornerback, especially on the outside. At 32 years old, he was never fast. So, bruh, after 30, you go downhill really fast. At a cornerback, receiver, you start going downhill really fast. Running back, start going downhill at 27, 28. Cornerback, you can survive 30, 31. Maybe slide to the safety position. But outside, you better have them legs, baby. And Richard Sherman try to turn and run. Hamstring. But back to the Bucs secondary against the Colts receivers. We have the advantage in that area because the Todd Bowles, believe it or not, hey, look, he listens. He listens to everybody. He listens to he see. I don't know if he watches the channel, but I'm sure he understands. Like, look, man, Russ Cockrell is a liability, fam. He's a liability. As good as he is, as far as his position, and he was filling in pretty decent, right? But he has limitations. There's a reason why he's not a starter, and also he was practicing a lot in the safety position too. So don't be surprised we see him in the six DB setup, right? Murphy Button, Dean, Edwards, Whitehead, Winfield, and Cockrell. The dime package, the nickel package, it's the dime package. 6 DBs, 1 linebacker, 4 linemen, or 7 DBs, 1 linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And 3 down linemen. We might see that. So Cockrell will see the field again. It just will be in that dime coverage, right? 6 DBs on the field, and they'll probably slide down Winfield down to the other slot. Edwards on the other slot. And got our 2 corners on the outside. So the secondary is starting to come together. I told y'all, it's gonna take some time. And I said this weeks ago. Relax, y'all gotta chill, man. Like, you don't know what you got until at the halfway point right after that. And we at that point right now. This is who we are. We might make some adjustments here and there, but this is what it is. So we at that point now when Davis come back. What, 6 games left? 5 games left? It is what it is. Like, you can't start putting in all new schemes. Can't do that. You've been practicing a certain way the whole season. So same with the offense. The Bucs offense at some point go make some adjustments and then ride it home. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't make full changes. We don't have a late bye. We got our bye already. So now we got to play 8 straight games, 8 straight weeks. And we can hopefully, barring we can get out of the injury bug and get healthy. The injury gods got to stop playing with us, right? But we'll see. But let me get to you guys. Forgot about the Bucs special teams. I want to see Jalen Darden get a return. DSG Carlos. I'm telling you, if he does something, I'm gonna need you to come on here for the post game. But special teams, specifically the return units, punt return and kick return. I just want to see something. Give me a 30 or 40 yard return. That's it. I just want to see that. Just give me something, right? Anything. Suckup is doing a solid job. Bradley Pinion is doing a solid job. We're good kicking the ball, but returning the ball, or even kickoff coverage and punt return coverage, do a better job. But anyway, let me bring you guys on and let me give a couple people in here some shine and get their insight on the Colts and Bucks game before I wrap this up. We got about 25 minutes. So about almost at the hour mark, about 15 minutes away from the hour mark. The locker room is open as usual. So the floor is yours because I want to give y'all some time to talk too. I always try to do this at the end of the segment, end of the live stream, give my powers and my C-Bandits the floor, give you guys an opportunity to add your piece, your intelligence of the game, because we've been growing together for the last few years. So we've learned a lot from each other. I learned from you guys too. I don't know everything, you know. I just got a stream. I just got a platform. That's it. What's going on? What to do? What the business is? Word on the street.
What's going on, man?
All right, man. Look, man. I'm just here, talking about the game, man. I'm excited,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you got? What you got for us, man? What you got?
I think we look good. I think you were talking a lot about their running game. I don't think it's going to be a problem personally. That's just me. We tend to handle people's run game.
I mean, we're not going to knock the Colts run game like that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. I mean,
don't do that.
I'm just being real, man.
No,
the last team that ever really got in on us on the run game was the Vikings last year with Dalvin Cook. That was the only team that rushed for 100 yards on the Bucks last year.
Right, but this year we Antonio Gibson got us a little bit. Eagles got that was 2020, man. We talking about.
I'm talking about right now, but we're pretty consistent in containing the run game.
Right. But I'm just saying.
But that don't. When I see that and people they talking of Jonathan Taylor, I mean he's doing great. He's doing great.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He's not
gonna go off like that. I mean it's gonna be contained, and it's gonna be like you said. We're gonna make Wentz beat us.
That's what I'm saying. That's the key. You just shut it down. Like I don't care what they do passing wise, but you cannot let the Colts just run the ball like that. Can't do it.
Right. We're gonna make them one-dimensional. And to speak to our offense versus their defense, you said something about they had a pretty good front four. And the Forrest Bunker is probably the only name they probably play. You say they play well together. I get that.
Yeah,
but they have a low pressure rate. So if they're not pressuring, if you can't pressure us, then you're gonna get tore up. That's the way I see it. But I'm like you personally. I think we need to run the ball more.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna keep harping on that.
Like the last game we had, the second half, right before the halftime, that drive, they kept passing, and we had plenty of time. They could have ran the ball, took our time. They were like in a 2-minute offense for no reason. They didn't have to be. We had timeouts. We had everything at our disposal. We already crossed the 50, and they kept passing it. And we don't run it like we should. Like you're right. I don't know why Leif Wentz doesn't do it. Drives me crazy. We don't, and that's what I fear. We can't have Brady out there. I don't know if they're trying to get him to be MVP. I don't know what it is. All I care about is winning a Super Bowl at the end of the day. And I think Brady, unless Brady on some stat craze, and I don't think he is.
He is. It's obvious. You can't tell. It's
on the reason why they pass like they do. Yeah. I mean, we pass like we got two good running backs. In my opinion, I think they're good running backs. Personally, I like Rojo over Fournette. That's just me. He hits the hole a little bit harder, but that's just me. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I just I
He's
think.
Aware. See, hold on. So Brady's aware of these records because every week is a record going down. He's aware.
So they must be on a mission for it. That's what it got to be. Because they pass in situations where it's like, why are we passing? We don't have to pass. The Washington game was a pure example of why are we passing? I mean, I think either they must have walked off the bus thinking it's a dub. They got to know that it's a Super Bowl when they play the Bucks. It's everyone's Super Bowl when they play the Bucks. Not only because we're the champs, but they want to beat Brady. It's the same thing with New England. Mm-hmm. Like when he was with New England, they want to beat New England because they want to beat Brady. So I mean, but I mean, overall, you say some good things. I agree a lot of it. Other than I don't think they'll be able to get pressure. Because I think our offensive line they're not a slouch either. So I think
No. They really good. Yeah, they're good.
I think it's a dub for us. Personally, it should be a dub. And the problem is, I think you also said another thing. You may not said it today, or you may have said it yesterday, but one of the things is good teams, man. We got to do these things against good teams. Like the Giants game, we're supposed to beat the Giants like that. We're supposed to slap them around. Matter of fact, we left points on the board. It should have been 40 on the board. You know what I mean? And the Washington, we should have slapped them around. In the Saint games we lost, that was a fluke. The only team that to me really beat us were the Rams. But I mean, other than that, man, we should slap that team. We're supposed to slap this team around. But their record is what? They're a little over 500, right?
6-5. 3 in a row.
A little over, right over 500, right?
Yeah, 3 in a row. They're playing well.
If you look at their schedule, they beat teams we beat, which were terrible teams. The best team they beat was this past Sunday. They beat the Bills.
Yeah, that was a good win.
That was a great win at home. They beat
going into this game, that's a good win for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
so maybe they might be overconfident. Like, hey, we handled the Bills. They supposed to be the talk of the AFC. They might think, oh, we could play with the Bucs. Man, I don't think you can play. Y'all, they don't match up. Especially
we said that about the Saints and the Washington football team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate to backtrack like this, but the Saints game, it was in a bag long as Jameis was on the field. But when it changed from Jameis, I got kind of scared, honestly, because we have a propensity to look bad against backup quarterbacks. I don't know what it is, but personally, this game is personal to me because I'm dating myself, but after the Bucs won the Super Bowl in 2002 or 2003, whenever, they played the Saints on a Monday Night Football game with Peyton Manning. I mean, not the Saints, but the Colts. They were 21-0.
38-35.
The game was in the bag. The game was literally in a bag.
Fourth quarter.
And they came back and won in overtime. The Bucs never been the same ever since that time. Go back and look at it. The Bucs are never the same.
Going into that game, we had a winning record, playing pretty good,
Yeah, we were playing. We was on schedule.
Yeah.
The team was on. We just got a Super Bowl win. We was on schedule. We were doing good. And after that, the year was never the same. The team was never the same.
That was a devastating loss too.
That was
one of the worst losses in Bucs history.
Yes, it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, it was like the team was never the same. So we. But it's personal in that respect that I want the dub. Every time I see the Colts, we need to get a dub every time just for that. But, man, I agree with you, man. I'll get out, man. I know someone else probably want to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talking with you, man. I love what you're doing.
Oh, appreciate it, man. You've been you've been around here.
Podcasts out there, man.
You've been around here for years, man. So we date way back. We
way back.
You OG, you know what I'm saying? You OG power. You was at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can tell you nothing in the chat room. Like,
yeah, man.
You ain't gonna do that there, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you're not are you a shooter?
No, I'm not, man. I'm a watcher. I'm always watching. I'm always watching. I'm in there. The last few years is when I start coming on, man. I gotta get in talk to these guys, man, because they, I don't, where I live, I don't have a lot of Buck fans around me. So you guys are like my people I get to talk with. Like when you talking, I'm amen-ing you. I saying, oh man, I don't know. But see, I like how you come, man, and I'm getting off track. But I like how you come because you talk for real and you temper my expectations.
Yeah.
You temper them, man. I be like, oh yeah, we go, yeah. But then you be like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then it's real. That's why I like it. It's a slap in the mouth, but it's real. And I appreciate that from you.
I try to keep everything. I try to keep everything in the perspective of, not to get too wide and think above everything. You have to factor in. You have to factor in everything. A lot of us, and I notice this with a lot of Bucs fans, especially like that don't really come on the channel or be in the chat room, like in those other platforms or in the groups and Facebook. They tend to just overcast a lot of just. They do too much and don't really think football. There's a difference between being a fan and being a football fan, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you could be the fan of your team, but you gotta be objective, logical about how you think and how you say things, and to go around and scream and this, and it doesn't help you at the end. 17-0, and where are those 17-0 fans at?
Right, they gone.
You get what I'm saying? And what did I say?
Yeah.
14-3. Oh, what you mean? This is realistic. I can get.
I mean, realistic. See, I think a lot, like what you said to your point. I think it's a lot of if you look at us on paper, we look outstanding on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But it come down to the play calling at the end of the day.
The matchups, man.
The matchup. And if you don't, I don't like Sean Payton, but that joker could coach.
Oh, you like the Saints. Oh, you like the Saints.
He had Jameis was in a perfect situation. They got a defense and a run game. But now they don't have Kamara, you see what they are now. But they got a run game and they got their defense. And then all you got to do is temper Jameis. But our defense was terrible, even though we look good on paper, but they weren't great.
Terrible.
But we had weapons. And so we knew Jameis could have weapons, but they tempered him. And I mean, he was on track with the Saints. They tempered him. You can't let him just go wild out because he'll give you some. He'll give you he'll throw some away. I don't want to talk about Jameis on this channel. But I mean, like you said, when we temper those expectations, it come down to the coaching. And when you helped me realize that, like when you think of Sean Payton, man, that's a better coach, man. We get our coach sometimes, even though we had a talent. We get our coach, man.
Our coach, it's just what it is. Oh, you like Sean Payton? No, I don't. He's just a better coach.
Man, we get our coach, man. I think if you had Sean Payton with this team, man, no telling. No telling. Just think if Tom Brady went to the Saints.
Oh man, we'd be in trouble.
We'd be in trouble. I mean, the league's in trouble now, but think about Tom Brady don't need talent. I mean, it helps his skills now. But he don't necessarily need the talent because he didn't have it in New England. They had defense and good coaching.
Now, the rumor is that the Saints were on his list. If Breeze would have retired,
right,
he was gonna.
Man, that'd have been terrible. I was thinking about the other day. Damn, Brady, if he went to the Saints, he would have had defense. He had a running game, and Sean Payton scheming him up.
O-line too.
O-line and Sean Payton scheming him up. Oh man, we'd be in trouble. We were here the last. We didn't hear the end of it.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, it'd have been wrong if we did that. But we get off track. But good coaching could take you a long way.
Right.
And I think sometimes we get our coach. I think a lot of games we win off of sometimes just talent. Sometimes.
But see, if you notice, the games that we tend to struggle in, it's against competent coaches.
Yeah, competent coaches.
Competent coaches.
Every time. From last year into this year. Sean Payton, McVay, Rivera.
I mean, I know I ain't the only one. I ain't the only one that see it. I call it out every time. Like,
if it's a bumbling coach, we gonna dog that team.
Yes.
If it's a bumbling coach or a new coach, we probably gonna dog that team. But if you get competent, man, most of the competent coaches.
Look, we got Mike McCarthy, right? We edged that game. The Cowboys' offense is explosive, right? So we escaped that game with a close victory, right? Sean McVay, top level coach, right? Sean Payton, top level coach. Ron Rivera, steady, disciplinarian, struggle. You know what I'm saying? And then the teams that we beat, we beat Belichick, close, on the road, escaped that one. You know what I'm saying? Nick Sirianni, rookie coach.
Yeah,
Brian Flores. I don't know what they're doing in Miami.
I don't know.
Matt Nagy on the way out.
On the way out, yeah, he got crushed.
Joe Judge on the way out.
Yeah. If you start looking at it like that, so I would say Frank Reich is like kind of close to river area, not there yet.
Yeah, he in the middle. He not there yet. Yeah, he's kind of like
He's kind of on the level of the Browns coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They use the running game. Yeah. They use the running game to hide the quarterback's deficiency. Because if you're gonna let Wentz or Mayfield try to win you the game, it's gonna get tough. They're gonna give you some.
Yeah, everybody's saying Kevin Stefanski and Frank Reich, they kind of in that same little bubble. Like they trying to make the next step. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. But I think it's the game. I think the Bucks got this game personally. I believe we got it.
What you think
I
the
mean,
score gonna be?
I'm not gonna give no score.
I haven't gave my score prediction. I'm gonna give that at the end. But what you think the score gonna be?
Oh, probably 28-17. Bucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It should be in the back. I thought that when I saw with Washington, man. But I Bucks, they scare me, and because for some reason they primetime, we don't play good in primetime for some reason. I don't know. But I thought the team overcame that when they went on the playoffs. They went through, won all them games, played in primetime, did the dang thing.
The one thing
But
about I always try to tell people too is nothing's gonna be perfect. We're gonna have to catch some breaks.
yeah,
We're gonna
we'll
like
catch some more breaks this year.
last year we caught some breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We caught some breaks.
We caught a lot of breaks. We catch a lot of breaks this year, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got to get the coaching got to get right, man. I mean, because it's too many dang penalties. You know what I'm saying? It's too many dang. We can't do that against no good team. You know what I'm saying? We can't let them penalties, man. Our dang corners are so grabby. We can't get the defense out the field. The defense scared the mess out of me because I don't know if they're gonna play good or they're gonna be leaky. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. So I mean, all I know is they're gonna be able to stop the run. That's all I know. If anything they could do, they could stop the run. Right. But when it comes to passing, I'm thinking SMB, he helped the game last week or whatever. But man, that could be just because of bad play calling from Garrett.
He got fired.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a scapegoat, but I mean, that could be bad play calling. I mean, you should have been sending them. Man, you got speed. You got John Ross.
They got weapons. They got weapons.
They got Ingram. I mean, you should have been sending Saquon on a wheel route. Wheel routes kill us. They put up a graphic during the game. The Bucks give up the most on wheel routes. Well, you better run a wheel route then, but they don't. It is like the scheme they had, the game plan they had was terrible.
Horrible.
It was terrible, and I mean, it's just like, man. It could be just. I think more of a scheme, and Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback.
Well, so they always think at the trifecta, right? I call it the quads, right? Yeah. GM, coach, quarterback, OC. All four of them got to go. One down, 3 to go.
Yeah, Jones is out of there, man. Get him in. Is he the GM, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Mara ain't going nowhere. So get him in he about to get him out of there, man.
Joe Judge out of there.
Man,
you got to start over. You got to start.
Yeah, you got to start over, man. But Jones got to go.
Yeah. Anything about it?
They have talent. Coaching as well. Because look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones with the Patriots. Look at him. I was saying Mac Jones was probably going to be the best quarterback coming out anyway, because he was the best. He
went to the best situation.
Yeah, he went to the great situation. Everybody had to be scared when they got him. Everyone was scared. I was like, man, I don't want to see that. Cause I was thinking to myself, when the Bucks gonna play him, by the time he gonna be right, but he ain't right yet. That's what's crazy. I mean, but they got defense. They got a good coaching, like you said, good coaching.
Coaching matters, man. Like that's why I say, like people get caught up in the quarterback being the number 1 pick and the Zach Wilson, the Trevor Lawrence in history, right? When you are the number 1 pick, number 2, number 3 pick, you're going to a really bad team. People don't understand that. You're going to the worst or the second or third or fourth or fifth worst team in the NFL. So they got a lot of problems, and you're supposed to cover that up. And sometimes we see a lot of quarterbacks that are actually good. They just phase out because they got put in a really bad situation, and especially if you have a bad coach.
Yeah. And a brand new coach, usually.
Yeah. Right. So those quarterbacks, how often do you see those quarterbacks succeed?
They don't, man. It's a bad situation.
That's why I'm very leery of drafting quarterbacks number 1. I'm like,
Well, if your team is trash, then no, you don't want to draft a quarterback number 1, man.
Look, I'm all about gathering picks. If your team is bad and you got a lot of holes, get picks, man.
Yeah, I see that logic now. I mean, but people want the shiny. They want the shiny.
Okay.
They want the shiny, man. But man, I need to go. I could talk to you for a long time, man. So I mean, someone else probably want to get in, but if not, I'll sit here to talk with you, man.
Oh, I got the locker room open a little bit. We're a little over an hour now, so I got the link up. So I'm gonna probably keep it open for another couple minutes.
Okay.
And shut it down if nobody joins in. I'm pretty sure everybody's probably getting ready for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So I
Oh
do
yeah.
understand, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. But the Bucks, I'm gonna give my prediction after you get off, and I give my final thoughts on the game this Sunday. And anything else you want to say, man?
No, man, just keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work, young man. Young man,
Oh,
you probably might. Keep up the good work.
I try. I
I,
try.
I like your objective, man, and I mean, man, keep up the good work, man. Just you're doing a good thing, man.
Appreciate it, man. I really do
Uh,
appreciate it. Yeah, so that's one of the OGs right there. Gave some good points. Let's get back to the game. I know we kind of went into a tangent about other teams and stuff, but yeah, folks. It's all about stopping the Colts run game. As I wrap this live stream up, because I know everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving festivities. So my score prediction for this game, 31-20. The Bucks win on the road. We move to 8-3. With that being said, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining another episode of Locker Room Talk with your host, Buckles Locker, aka Isaiah. Or you want to flip that around, Isaiah, aka Buckles Locker. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. So I want y'all to enjoy y'all Thanksgiving festivities with your friends and family. Stay safe. Protect yourself, protect your family. Stay healthy and enjoy the games tomorrow, especially the Bears versus the Lions. The first game of Thanksgiving festivities. Eat some good food. Don't get too full. Save some room for dessert. And make sure you save me a plate. No meat. All veggies. Save me a plate, and I want some cornbread. Sweetwater cornbread. Southern style. I'm a Southern guy. So Sweetwater cornbread. And some apple pie. And some pumpkin pie, too. I want to see some plates, too. Save me some plates. Because I like to eat. No meat, please. No meat. Veggies. Anyway, fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag. No risking, no biscuit. Hashtag. Bombs away. Hashtag. Facts over feelings. Hashtag. What you doing? And one more hashtag for this special one. Hashtag. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. I'm very thankful for everybody that's been following the channel since the beginning. Trust and believe. I really do appreciate that. And all the super chats and all the comments. Enjoy your holidays, folks. Buckles Locker will see you Sunday. Don't be late. I might be. Deuces.